Hope you guys are doing pretty good, bro. Out here, let me tell you, man, I got the devil up here. It's getting hotter than hell. I'm driving, I gotta put my phone down to cover up that camera so you can look at Moses. So let me ask you guys a question. How come Moses has horns? Why does Moses have horns? I thought the devil had horns. That is crazy. Do you know in Exodus 34 and 5, in the Hebrew anyways, it literally says that Moses grew horns on his face. It does say that. That's in the Hebrew. The Greek doesn't say that. The Greek says a different word, and it's very confusing what the Greek even says. But the Latin Vulgate, which predates the Masoretic text, it said Moses grew horns. That's why when Michelangelo sculpted Moses, he gave Moses horns. Why? Because he was depicting Moses accurately. And when the people saw Moses' face that it shone, the King James said it shone. No, his face grew horns. He grew horns on his head. And the Israelites were terrified when they seen it. But you'd be scared too if you seen the devil. If Moses ain't the devil, how could you say that? What did Jesus say to the Jews? The most famous scripture, guys. In John 8:44, ye are of your father the devil. Does the devil have horns? The devil has horns. Then Jesus told ye are of your father the devil. Because Moses teaches you to curse and to destroy your enemies. He says to curse those that curse you and that persecute you. That's Deuteronomy 30 and 7. Moses says oh, is this shit working? I gotta put it right here or something. I wonder if I can put it right here. You can see me on. I don't have a tripod. We're gonna go sideways with it. And Deuteronomy 30 and 7, you can see the little corner in my head. And Deuteronomy 30 and 7, Moses says to curse those that curse you and to persecute you. But in Luke the 6th chapter, Jesus says to bless those and bless those that persecute you. Alright, you're not supposed to curse nobody. But the Old Testament is all about cursing. It's all about death and destruction. Alright, that's why Moses has horns. Moses did blood sacrifices. Devil worshippers are not, it's so hot I gotta roll the window down. Sorry if it affects the audio. I don't care. There's blood sacrifices in the Old Testament. Jesus told us blood sacrifices are not necessary. Alright? The real God does not require you to perform blood sacrifices. But the Old Testament says Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people. That's like a devil worshiping ceremony. And that sounds crazy. It sounds blasphemy because we've been taught our whole lives, that Moses was a good, upstanding guy. Well, maybe Moses was just misled, or maybe he's a mythological character. But we got the 10 Commandments. We love the 10 Commandments, guys. Right? For the most part, the 10 Commandments is pretty good. Except for the I'm a jealous God part. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. When I was a little kid, I was like, you mean there's other gods? Oh, no, son, that's not what it means. That's exactly what it means. There's a bunch of other gods. It didn't even talks about it, even names them by the names. I don't know what you guys are looking at. I had to lay my phone. There's not much traffic right here, so... Whoa, I'm like zoomed way in. How did that happen? Moses took the on the people, guys. Now, Moses has horns. Why does Moses have horns? I didn't do that. The Catholics did that. Actually, this picture right here was drawn by a man named Peter Liesbetten. Liesbetten, Lisebetten. I believe that's his name. I was about to use the Michelangelo picture for this video, but then I found this picture instead. By the way, I got to throw a little tip out there. Lately, I've been using Yandex search engine. Because Google's search engine is trash now. Even DuckDuckGo is no good nowadays. So I've been using Yandex. It's like the best search engine. And this popped up as one of the first results. I was like, whoa, that's a nice one. So I'm not making this up. I didn't draw this picture. Somebody drew this like 200 years ago. Michelangelo sculpted Moses with horns during the Renaissance. On the orders of the Catholic Church. So the Catholic Church knows what's going on. They know Moses got horns. They know who the devil is. That's just too much to tell the average person. You guys can't handle it. So they're goddamn Platonists, so they gotta keep stuff a secret. They didn't tell you everything. I'll tell you everything. I ain't scared to tell you. I think you're ready for it. It's the year 2026. I think everybody's ready for it, guys. We're ready for the truth. All right, ye of your father, the devil. Who do we know that has horns in the Old Testament? Moses. Oh, bulls. That's why you have to sacrifice bulls. That's why the Israelites, they made golden calves. Because in the ancient world, God was always depicted by a bull, guys. Well, Yahweh's not the same as the other gods. Yeah, he is. Yahweh's a storm god. He that rideth upon the wings of the wind. Psalms 104, which was taken from the hymn of Akhenaten. I mean, it's just old-time tradition, baby. The storm god, he that walketh upon the wings of the wind. The prince of the power of the air. Yahweh is Yoved. That's classical Latin. Well, actually, Yahweh is classical Latin for Jupiter. Yahweh is Yahweh. 12 Olympians, 12 tribes. Whatever, guys. But Moses has horns. He has horns. Ye of your father, the devil. Marcion was right. Marcion was right. The Orthodoxy's wrong. Marcion was right the whole time. Because you read the Old Testament, it says to curse and to hate and to destroy your enemies. It says kill them all. Kill the men, kill the women, kill the children, kill the animals, kill their livestock. So that's not what Jesus teaches, guys. Jesus does not teach us to kill them all. Jesus does not teach us to smash babies against rocks like the Old Testament. That doesn't resemble Jesus in any way at all. It's like the opposite of Jesus. Like the devil. Like, that's only something the devil would say. That's why Moses has horns. Because he taught the opposite of Jesus. Hey, guys, who's the opposite of Jesus? The devil. Satan. The devil. Beelzebub. The Lord of the Flies. The Lord of the Flies, as in flies buzzing on a pile of shit. Or as flies, he's flying in the sky. Or as flies buzzing on the dead carcasses at the temple from the sacrifices. They would sacrifice so many animals at the temple, it'd just be blood and flies buzzing everywhere with a terrible, horrible stench. An ungodly stench. An ungodly, disgusting smell. Alright, the worst thing imaginable. Lord of the Flies. Alright, you gotta worship Yahweh at the temple and sacrifice bulls and goats to him. The New Testament says we are the temple. God lives inside of us. God doesn't live inside of you in the Old Testament. In the Old Testament, God lives on top of a mountain and he flies around in the sky. He flies around in the sky. So Marcion was right. Isaiah 45:7 says Yahweh creates evil and darkness. Alright, you gonna tell me God creates evil? You gonna tell me Jesus creates evil? The source of all evil in the world is Jesus Christ. Say that. Let me see you say that as a Christian. Tell me all evil. If you're a Christian, tell me that all evil comes from Jesus. Because Christians, Orthodox Christians, say Jesus is Yahweh. And they're one in this. Yahweh's part of the Trinity. No, he's not. He's part of a pantheon, a pagan pantheon. Alright, so say that with a straight face. Say Jesus creates all the evil in the world with a straight face. Say that with a straight face. You can't do it. 45:7 says, it says, Yahweh. You gonna tell me that Jesus Christ is the darkness and the origin point of all evil? No. The New Testament teaches that God is light and no darkness at all. 1 John 1:5 says God is light and no darkness at all. But in the book of Isaiah, it says Yahweh creates evil and darkness. And that's why Marcion was right. And Marcion, he made that comparison in his antithesis. All right, antithesis. His antithesis. And you can say it both ways, tomato, tomato. In his antithesis, he quoted Isaiah 45:7 as proof that Yahweh and Jesus are not the same. Jesus does not create darkness and evil. Jesus is all good. He's pure and wholesome. He's the way, the truth, and the life. He is the light. We are the light of the world. We're the sons of light, not the sons of darkness. All right, God is light. The Old Testament teaches that Yahweh creates darkness and evil. The Old Testament teaches that Satan works for Yahweh. You gonna tell me Satan works for Jesus and with Jesus? That's what the book of Job says. Satan obeys the orders of Yahweh. In the book of Job, Satan is working hand in hand with Yahweh. They're not in opposition with each other. And Judaism teaches that Satan is an obedient angel of Yahweh. That's what Judaism teaches. So you gonna tell me that Jesus and Satan work together? Are you a Mormon now? Jesus and Satan are brothers. Hey, get out of here with that old loud ass shit. Everybody's criticizing the Mormons right now because of the federal government said Mormons are not real Christians, apparently. Mormons say Jesus and Satan are brothers. Mormons cannot be real Christians because Jesus and Satan are they're not brothers. Well, obviously, but in a roundabout way, Orthodox Christianity kind of teaches. That's just, you don't care about your neighbor when you drive. When you drive a vehicle or a bike that loud, you don't care about your neighbors. You're not a very, very neighborly person. I care about my neighbors. I really do. I'm a very neighborly person. Not Satan, not Yahweh. Yahweh said to kill all your neighbors. Jesus said to love your neighbors. Yahweh says to kill them. So you're going to tell me Yahweh is Jesus. Makes sense out of that. Okay, and whether Marcion was right or we're wrong, he's morally right. Morally right. Because I have the moral high ground. With the teachings that I teach, I have the moral high ground. All right? And you're going to lose. You're going to be like the evil Anakin getting chopped up in pieces. All right? Because I got the moral high ground. All right? Because smashing babies is wrong. Killing your neighbors is wrong. All right? Genocide is... Everything in the Old Testament is wrong, wrong, wrong. There's a lot of evil, bad stuff in there. There's no way in hell that Jesus and Yahweh are the same, or that Jesus worshiped the God of the Jews. It's just not. He said, "You are your father, the devil." And I have the moral high ground when I reject the Old Testament. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in it. Don't get me wrong. There's still a lot of really good stuff in there that I do cherish. I mean, there's some really good stuff in there. I love the book of Ecclesiastes. Some really good Proverbs, some really good Psalms. Don't get me wrong, guys. I love it. But I just know the truth. And Jesus had a way higher understanding of God than the writers of the Old Testament. Jesus' understanding of God is on a much higher level than the writers of the Old Testament. That's all I'm telling you. And he outright just said that guy was evil. You have your father, the devil. Who has horns, guys? Moses has horns. I'm not making stuff up. I didn't put horns on Moses. It's in the Bible. It's in Exodus 34. Exodus 34 and 35. It says Moses' face horns. He grew horns on his face. That's just what happened. Okay, why did he have horns? Because the devil has horns. Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people. Who sprinkles blood on people? Devil worshippers. Who does blood sacrifices, guys? Devil worshippers. There's a commandment in the Torah where it says, when it gives you it gives instructions to the sons of Aaron of how to properly sacrifice a ram. And when they sacrifice the ram, they have to take the blood of the ram, put it on their nose, I think, and on their earlobes, on their thumbs, not their nose, maybe their thumbs and their big toe. They had to put it on the earlobes, on their big toe, and their thumb. What kind of weirdo stuff is that? Devil worshiping. Moses has horns. You gonna tell me, what if I did a live stream, guys, and I sacrificed the ram and then I started wiping blood all over myself? You guys would say I worship Satan. But when Moses does it, oh, that's fine. That's okay. No, Moses has horns. Y'all gonna stop playing with me. But I gotta go, guys. I hope if you caught the lesson, you enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something. You probably called me a blasphemer there. That's what usually happens. Whew, I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna make this thing public soon so you can go rewind and watch it again. I got tons of videos already up. Okay, we be going in all day, almost every day. We go in when we can, you know what I'm saying? I got to go, baby. We got to go. We got things to do. We on the road. I'm running errands.